drums beneath the soil. The silence in the border town of Oakhaven wasn't truly silent, not if you were young enough. To the adults, the nights were merely hushed by the encroaching autumn mist, but to the children, the air vibrated. It started as a low hum in the floorboards and escalated into a rhythmic, disciplined thrum that seemed to beat in time with their own hearts. Thump-tap, thump-tap, thump-tap. 12-year-old Thomas lay in bed, his fingers ghosting over the cold stone of his bedroom wall. The sound didn't come from the wind or the distant sea. It came from down. It was the sound of 1,000 boots hitting the earth in perfect unison, a subterranean heartbeat that set the dust dancing on his nightstand, while his father, the village magistrate, snored loudly in the next room. Thomas slipped through the window. He followed the cadence, drawn past the flickering lanterns of the town square and into the blackwood. Beyond the trees lay the scar, a valley where a century ago the great border war had sputtered out in a final, bloody gasp. The air here was colder, smelling of ozone and wet iron. As the moon hit its zenith, the ground didn't just shake. It parted. Wisps of silver vapor coalesced into shapes. They weren't the ragged ghosts of storybooks. These were soldiers of high polish and grim resolve. Their uniforms, though stained by 100 years of earth, were buttoned tight. Their banners, though shredded, were held aloft by skeletal hands that didn't tremble. They marched in an endless, agonizing loop, charging an invisible hill, falling to invisible bayonets, and rising again to the beat of those relentless drums. In the center of the clearing stood a figure that made Thomas's breath hitch. A lieutenant, tall and broad-shouldered, stood perfectly still. Above his collar, there was only the shimmering night sky. He carried his head in a tattered leather satchel at his hip. Thomas didn't run. Curiosity, a trait his father often warned would be his undoing, rooted him to the spot. The headless officer turned, or rather, shifted his weight, and knelt. With a skeletal finger, he began to tap on the dry soil between them. Tap, 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 silence. Thomas mimicked the rhythm. For weeks, the boy returned, learning a language made of percussion. Through these vibrations, the lieutenant told the story of the 4th Regiment. T-Hay hadn't been defeated by the enemy. They had been led into a narrow gorge and abandoned.